Beep, 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 beep. All right. Okay, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, Bashimane la mañana. Welcome to a simple episode of the menstrual cycle. Okay, the menstrual cycle. Let me do this. Okay, so the menstrual cycle is too easy, guys. There are few things that you need to understand. Ne? Number one is that we have four hormones. We have four hormones. Two of the hormones are being produced by the pituitary gland. Two are also produced by the ovary. Okay? Okay, so let me take it from the top and explain what is what. Don't be confused by all these writings. They are so simple. Okay? Sheba. The first thing that will happen, we have the pituitary gland. Okay? Our beautiful pituitary gland in the brain is going to produce this hormone called FSH. So it's a follicle stimulating hormone. Ne? This hormone, it stimulates the growth of a follicle. That's its function. Ne? Which follicle are we talking about? We are talking about this follicle. It's called a Graafian follicle. Ne? So this FSH, it will take a small prematured Graafian follicle and grow it into a matured Graafian follicle. Now, people need to understand that the Graafian follicle on its own, as it is growing like that, is going to produce a hormone on its own, right? It's going to produce a hormone. That hormone is called the estrogen. Okay, so the estrogen, it has beautiful functions in the female's body. So the first one is that it will promote the development of secondary sexual characteristics. So those ones include the development of wide hips, the development of the breast and all that, right? Armpits, behind the armpits and all that, right? And then the second thing, this estrogen is going to prepare the endometrium walls. When we say prepare the endometrium walls, what are we talking about? Ne? So it does simple things. It goes to the endometrium wall and it say, hi, endometrium wall, I'm going to make you glandular. I'm going to make you vascular. And I'm going to make you thick. All right. That's the estrogen to the endometrium wall. When we say glandular, what do we mean by that? Glandular, it simply means high blood supply, meaning the endometrium wall is going to be supplied by high or a lot of blood. Simple. And then this vascular, it simply means that there is high levels of veins there, and then thick is thick. Come on, man. Right? So we're here at number 3. Okay, we just explained that. Sharp. Now, as this Graafian follicle is growing now, before anything happens to this Graafian follicle, we are going to have the pituitary gland again producing a hormone number 2, which is the luteinizing hormone. This luteinizing hormone, hormone number 2, I mean the second hormone that is being produced by the pituitary gland. The first one was this one, the second is this one. So more step number 4. Estrogen step number 3. So now more step number 4. So the luteinizing hormone. This luteinizing hormone is being produced by the pituitary gland. It goes to the Graafian follicle. It goes. Then it's like getting Graafian follicle. Hi, look, I want you to rupture. That's the first thing. You're going to rupture. You see what is happening here? So this Graafian follicle is going to rupture. And when it ruptures, it's going to produce an ova, right? And when it produces an ova, the process is called ovulation. All right? As you look at this Graafian follicle, you can see that inside of this Graafian follicle, we've been having an ova inside, right? This one. We've been having an ova inside. Now this ova, what's going to happen is that the Graafian follicle, because of the luteinizing hormone, the Graafian follicle is going to rupture. And when it ruptures, it produces an ova, and the process is called ovulation. It's taking place around about day number 13. Sharp. So now, the second thing that is going to happen on this Graafian follicle is that the Graafian follicle now, it ruptured. Sharp. Now, it is going to be converted to a corpus luteum. So this corpus luteum, on its own, is going to produce a hormone. And the hormone that will be produced, it will be this one, the progesterone. So the progesterone, it has functions also to the endometrium wall. So what it will do, the first thing, it will maintain the endometrium wall. It will maintain this. It's going to maintain this, right? So, and then it will also maintain pregnancy. So the size of our corpus luteum is telling us if the person, the female, is pregnant or not pregnant. How do you know that a female is not pregnant? Let's start with the not pregnant. The size of this corpus luteum is going to, as you go there, it's going to decrease from big to small to small to small to small, right? So as it is decreasing, it means now the hormone, this hormone, is also decreasing, meaning one not going to maintain, one not going to maintain, right? Mara, when now the individual is pregnant, it means now the size of this corpus luteum is going to remain the same. It's going to remain the same. When it remains the same, it will mean that the hormone progesterone is either going to increase or it's going to be constantly produced. If it's going to increase or being constantly produced, it means now this progesterone is going to maintain the endometrium wall and also is going to maintain pregnancy. How simple is that, So I need my people to understand that this menstrual cycle is taking place between day number 0 until number 28. So it's a 28-day cycle. And then this ovulation that is taking place here, many textbooks are going to tell you that it's taking place at day number 14. What I need you to understand is when you're inside the exam room and then they're telling you that the ovulation has taken place at day number 13, and then they ask you when or on what day did ovulation take place, kindly tell them that it's on the one that is given in the scenario in the exam. Or you just say before day 14, because many of us are going to cram that ovulation is taking place on day 14. It's true, but respect the scenarios that will be given unto you inside the exam. So let me just do a summary, a simple summary. Right. Okay. The first thing that happened, the first of the first, we had this pituitary gland producing this FSH. And then I told you that this hormone stimulates the growth of a follicle. Which follicle? The Graafian follicle, right? It will take a small premature Graafian follicle and grow it into a matured Graafian follicle. And the Graafian follicle on its own is going to produce a hormone called estrogen. And then estrogen is going to promote the development of secondary sexual characteristics. It's going to prepare the endometrium wall. And then I told that when we prepare the endometrium wall, we are making it glandular, vascular, and thick. Sharp. Now, on this Graafian follicle, before anything, the pituitary gland is going to produce the luteinizing hormone now. Luteinizing hormone goes, and at around about day number 12, 13, this luteinizing hormone, it will be produced. It will greet this and be like, hi, how are you? We need you to rupture. When you rupture, you produce a ova. We call it ovulation. And then you are going to convert from a Graafian follicle into a corpus luteum. That is luteinizing hormone. Sharp. Luteinizing, we are done with luteinizing hormone. So now the corpus luteum. Corpus luteum on its own is going to produce a hormone, which is progesterone. Ne? Sharp. And then I told you that progesterone, it maintains the endometrial wall, it maintains pregnancy. So maintaining the endometrial wall, we just mean this. Ne? It maintains this. Fail. Sharp. And then we told you that this endometrium, this corpus luteum, ne? Its size is going to tell us if the individual is pregnant or not pregnant. Ne? And then we told you that, like here on the diagram, the corpus luteum is degenerating in size. So the size of this is getting smaller and smaller and small. As it is getting smaller and smaller and small, it means now this progesterone, it will decrease. And once it decreases, it means we are no longer going to be able to maintain the endometrium wall. Then that's where the bleeding, the menstruation, the bleeding is going to take place. And then we are not going to maintain pregnancy because progesterone is low. Now, if the person is pregnant, we said this, the corpus luteum, its size is going to remain the same. And when the size is going to remain the same, there are two things to happen. Progesterone level is going to increase or is going to be constant. When it is constant or it is increasing, we are going to maintain the endometrium wall. We're maintaining this. And then we're going to maintain pregnancy. How sweet and simple that is. So I hope with this information, you are going to mur the exam. You're going to know the menstrual cycle. So that's from me signing out. Danko asbonge. Hopefully you will enjoy yourself in the exam. Danko.